Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Gary with Liberty Road Defense Pistol Training, coming at you with another Free-for-All Friday. I thought this time, instead of getting all wound up tighter than a $2 watch spring over politics and stupid internet stuff, we'd talk a little bit about history, specifically the Crusades. The Crusades, they want us to believe, and I get it all the time. I'll make a comment about current events going on in the Middle East, and without fail, some liberal, Muslim leg-humping, window-licking liberal piece of shit will say, well, Christians did it too. What about the Crusades? Well, first, Crusades happened almost 1,000 years ago. Okay? Second, as a civilization, we have developed over time rules of civilization that prevent certain things from happening. The problem is, a lot of people have been lied to about what the Crusades were. They've been pretty much taught that, oh, well, England went over to the Crusades and conquered all of this land and stuff like that, and they just went over there and wholesale slaughtered all of these people. This is not exactly true. So let's talk a little bit about history and about what the Crusades were and why they happened. Okay? First off, let's go back a little bit, because the first crusade was in 1189. Okay. Oops. Yep. It's not a script, it's just notes. 1096. First crusade is 1096. But let's go back about 450 years and talk about a man named Muhammad. Okay? And I got something I want to say specifically about this person, Muhammad. Muhammad was an illiterate, goat-humping pedophile, okay, who started a religion called Islam. And legend has it that he went out into the wilderness and Allah showed all of these things to him and showed him how, how to live in the Quran and the things that were in Islam and stuff like that. I just want to point out one thing about this. About 650 years before that, Christ went out into the wilderness. And you know what he found out there? He found Satan. Okay? So, Christ goes into the wilderness for 40 days and finds Satan. And rejects Satan, and is tempted by Satan, but still rejects Satan. Muhammad, the illiterate, goat-humping pedophile, goes into the wilderness and finds Allah. Does that tell you who Allah is? Okay, that's what I got to say about that. He starts this Islam thing, and for the next 400 years, Islam is in a constant state of war against everyone, the entire world. Okay? A constant state of war. They did not take prisoners. They killed them brutally in front of their families, much like what Islam does today. So, let's get back to the Crusades. So, Islam has this jihad going on, holy war against the entire world. Their desire is world conquest. It was when Muhammad invented it, and it is now. Okay. First Crusades, 1096 to 1099. The First Crusades, the Muslims had invaded and destroyed and conquered every nation in the Middle East, including Jerusalem. They owned it. They had pushed back the Romans and death and destruction for 400 years. The Muslims were about to invade and destroy and capture Byzantine, okay, which is the remnants of the Roman Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire. And so the emperor of Byzantine, Emperor Alexius, who's a shady character, but nonetheless, the emperor of the Byzantine Empire, sends a message to Pope Urban II, please help. Come and help us, we're about to be overrun, we're about to be destroyed. And Pope Urban puts out a call to everyone in Christendom, we need to go help our ally over here. And they do. Okay? And the specific goal of the First Crusade was to stop the Muslim invasion, because the Muslim invasion was coming to Western Europe. So the Western Europeans went there to stop the Muslim invasion of Western Europe and to retake Jerusalem. And they did. They defeated the Muslim armies and took back Europe. And after the First Crusade was over, they set up 4 Christian cities in the area, in the region, to provide armies to protect from future Muslim invasions. And all was good for about 30 years. Okay? And then in 1130, a Muslim army develops again and begins a jihad, a holy war against the Christians. This time it's not just against these countries and stuff, it's specifically against Christians. Okay? They recapture Edessa, one of the Christian city-states, and the Crusaders were sent, and their main force was defeated at Damascus. Okay? So, Crusade number 1, we win. Crusade number 2, they win. Which brings us to Crusade number 3. In 1189 to 1192, Saladin takes control of the Muslims, becomes the leader of the Muslims, and he begins a jihad against Christian-held Jerusalem. Again, specifically, Muslims specifically declared jihad against Christians and seek to retake Jerusalem, because after the Second Crusade, we still maintained Jerusalem. We held Jerusalem. This time he wants to go and take over Jerusalem. In September of 1191, King Richard the Lionheart meets Saladin's forces on the field of battle and defeats them at a town called Arsuf, at the Battle of Arsuf. In 1192, Richard the Lionheart and Saladin sign a peace treaty that reestablishes the kingdom of Jerusalem, but without the city of Jerusalem. And this is why we have the Jerusalem-Muslim conundrum going on over there right now. So, in each case of all 3 Crusades, the Crusaders went in as a direct result and in a direct response to invading Muslim armies. Okay? Much like what we do today. So anyone who talks crap about the Crusades, oh, they went over there, they were so bloodthirsty and killing and pillaging and raping and all that. Yeah, they did. Okay? Those were the customs of warfare of that time. You cannot hold someone long dead in history, someone who fought 1,000 years ago, accountable to customs that have changed over time, to customs that are customs of war that we have now, because those customs of war didn't exist then. They were acting according to customs of war from 1000 to 1200, and the customs of war were totally different. In fact, I would go so far to say is our customs of war today aren't really war. We send our men and women out there to go to battle and get killed for nothing. I just read an article, ISIS has taken Ramadi in Iraq. How many hundreds of men did we lose in Ramadi? Chris Kyle is spinning in his grave today because Ramadi has fallen to the Muslims once again. Okay. So that's my opinion of the Crusades. Anyone who uses the Crusades as an excuse for what the Muslims are doing today not only is misinformed or willfully ignorant of what the Crusades really were, but just because that happened 1,000 years ago doesn't mean it's okay for it to happen today. Okay? So that's all I got for Free for All Friday this week. I hope you enjoyed that little history lesson, and I hope you have some ammunition in your magazine to give to those pesky, elbow-licking, camel-humping liberals when they start screaming Crusades every time a Muslim does a terrorist attack. Okay, until next time, remember to like, share, and subscribe, and tell all your friends about us, and we'll see you later.